Today on Low Butt Garage, we're going to be again looking at the CR230F, trying to make it into a CRF230R. Can it be done? Can we make this little high-tech trail bike into a race bike? Is it possible? Can it be done? Well, we've already done a lot of mods to this bike already, and I'm going to go over and kind of review what we've done to this bike so far. And while we're at it, we're going to be putting on a rear brake assembly that is made out of magnesium, much lighter. And we'll take this little bad girl out for a test ride. But before we dive into all that, let's do a quick recap of what we've done to the CRF230 so far. Remember, this thing was pretty beat when I bought it. I got it for less than $500, and the engine ran really strong, and everything was there, and it ran great. Everything was good, just a little beat up. So first thing we did, replace the seals, springs. We replaced the rear sprocket. We took that dirty old exhaust pipe and cleaned it up, made it look a little nicer. It was a nice BBR pipe. We cut out the top of the airbox, took off the headlight, replaced a lot of the nuts and bolts, whatever I could that didn't require a lot of strength with aluminum bolts, replaced a lot of the engine covers, drilled out both axles and the swing arm bolt, cut off little pieces of here and there wherever we could save a little bit of weight that was unnecessary. We replaced the battery. We replaced a lot of parts, necessary parts, with aluminum parts, things like motor mounts and bolts. We drilled out everything I could think of. So by this point, we had managed to take off 16.2 pounds of weight. Pretty significant weight loss. We also put on an XR250R shock, which also took off another pound. We put on a XR250R clone, mind you, carburetor that also managed to take off yet another pound. This larger 30mm carburetor with an accelerator pump gave us some extra boost. We took the starter gear and had it machined down, lost a little bit more weight there. We also took the flywheel off, sent it out, had it machined down, and managed to take off another 3/4 of a pound of weight. While we were there, we put in the +4° Woodruff key to advance the timing 4 degrees. Both of those things giving the bike quicker acceleration. So now the bike was vastly improved. Between the stiffer springs and the Racetech gold valves on the forks, proper jetting accomplished, and cutting out the airbox with a unifilter, as well as the CDI rev box, all put together made quite a significant difference in the power and the suspension. Still not a race bike, but we're getting there. The bike was now rideable. You could actually go fast on this bike. But now, where do we take it? What else can we do to this thing? Today, we're going to get one step closer to that 20-pound mark. We're now within ounces of reaching that 20 pounds of weight loss. Can we reach it today by this final step? Or is it the final step? And okay, what do we have here? It is what I think it is. This is the XR250 1985 brake panel. Big deal, right? The difference being this is aluminum, and it's pretty light aluminum. This is magnesium. And I can feel a difference. I can feel it. So let's check it out here. Let's actually see the difference. Okay, stock CRF230 coming up with 2 pounds 5 ounces. Off of the XR250R 1985, it weighs 1 pound 11 ounces. Nice. I'll let you do the math. Let's bolt it on. Okay, so we've changed out the steel sprocket for an aluminum steel sprocket, and we've got the chain tensioners, aluminum also, as well as an aluminum bushing. And now we have our, instead of a regular aluminum brake panel, we have the magnesium off of an XR250R. We've drilled the arm, we've drilled out the shaft a little bit, not a lot, just a little, and drilled the brake pads as well. So between all that, we saved quite a bit of weight. So let's bolt this thing up and go ride. All right, one small detail I forgot to mention. there is a slight difference in the depth at this point here. So what I had to do is take 2 washers about that thick, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, less than 1/4, and put it on here, and then it's fine. It works great. Now this is off an 85. I don't know what year you're going to use, but this is off an 85 XR250, but it's fine. No binding, all good. So, very important. If you're very careful, put some sticky grease. I put some very sticky grease. Get that spacer stuck on there. Very carefully put it in a position so the spacer doesn't move. Then, if you can lift it up, very carefully place it in there. Then you can run the axle through, kind of push it through the washers, just push it through your spacer. Okay. And you'll know it if it spins nice. If it's rubbing, you'll know the washer fell off. Okay. So it looks like we're good. Now I guess you could epoxy that spacer to the inside of your brake panel. You could do that. That's another way to do it. Then you wouldn't have to worry about trying to line that up and that washer moving around. But anyway, it can be done. The manual says torque it to 80 pounds. It seems like a lot, but 80 pounds. And there it is. 80. Okay, and when you spin it, it should be silent. No grinding, nothing. Brakes working. Done. Put up the chain. So now comes the point in the video when we decide, is this worth it or not? Well, it's very little money, 25 bucks for the part. Quite a bit of labor, I'll admit, but I definitely felt a difference in the way that the rear suspension felt, and it felt a little better. Hard to describe, just a little, I could just notice a slight difference. And what we're looking for is slight differences. Ounces make pounds, pounds make speed. Going over the bump, that's probably where I noticed the biggest difference. I did notice a little more pop over the jumps too, just a slight bit. It's adding all these things up. It's a cumulative total. And so at this point, we have managed a total weight reduction of 20 pounds, 9 ounces. Is it a huge difference? Yeah, very noticeable. Now we took a little trip over to DT1 Motocross Park in Tulare, California, and gave it a little tryout. The bike was up to it, my body wasn't. Just wasn't feeling it that day. I had a fun day at the track. Now, the question is this little CRF230 ready for a race? I think so. I don't really want to call this a motocross bike, but after taking it to the DT1 track, I decided to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to go all in. We're headed for the World Vet Championship, Glen, Helen racetrack in San Bernardino, California. So yes, we are actually entering the CRF230F into the World Vet Championships in the 60 plus class. Yes, I am old. We'll see how the little CRF230 performs. We're going to take a run at it. We'll see how we do. Will I get trounced? Will I get lapped? Will I crash? Who knows? Well, we'll see. You'll just have to watch the next video to see. Join us in the next video going to the World Vet Championships. Yes, we are actually entering the CRF230F into the World Vet Championships, Glen Helen Racetrack, California. Make sure you tune in. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe.